I definitely think there's a lot of power in having a team. Obviously, over the course of the StarCraft 2 scene, or just esports in general, I think it's evolved a lot, where I think a ton of the benefits in maybe like the first 6 or 7 years of StarCraft was the opportunity to be able to live together, practice, kind of build that nice competitive culture that helps breed champions, or at bare minimum, at least breed a lot of learning and growth as people and as StarCraft 2 players. I think we've seen a lot in the past 3 years change with that, mostly because of like the last year with the pandemic. Unfortunately, a lot of people have not been able to travel or be able to live abroad, like in Korea, where a lot of people would live and train. But just even the dynamic of seeing teams evolve from just catering to professional players, but I'll pat ourselves on the back. Alpha X being a team that exists not only to help professional players, but to create a great community and provide lots of awesome content for the StarCraft community to enjoy. And I think that's a really neat thing that has kind of blossomed and taken care of important part of the scene, which is extended content for everyone to enjoy that goes above and beyond what our professional circuit might provide.
Yeah, that's a great point. And then on top of that, I think having that those practice partners that you can kind of rely on, because of your team provides them, or your teammates, and it really helps out during preparation, because a lot of these tournaments comes down to preparation. There are, of course, those tournaments that kind of run over the weekend, and not a lot of time to prepare. But things like GSL, maybe into the Alpha X Pro circuit, they rely, they kind of take time. They kind of take place over time, and having the ability to prepare, having that practice partner is really crucial.
Yeah, having a team, I guess, is okay. I think that's what we're figuring out here. Team OP. And we like that. Now, FORGG is going to completely prove us wrong here. He's like, I don't need a teammate to tell me to build 4 Widow Mines and fly them across the map. I'm my own man. I can do that by myself. I think it's going to end up being rather good, though. Hurricane's built quite a lot of ground forces here, but they're in a depth, so not going to find as much value in those. Great stasis trap there. Kind of in an interesting situation. He stasis traps his own mineral line to get FORGG to bait himself into the pickup there. Kind of an interesting play, but it ended up working out really, really well. It's going to mitigate a lot of the damage.
I'm going to be honest, I have not seen that in like a million years. A stasis trap that early in the game in your own mineral line. Usually the Oracle is across the map trying to do pulsar beams on SCVs, or maybe getting a revelation on the Terran army, but and maybe even a stasis ward, but a stasis ward on the other side of the map. But in your own mineral line this early in the game, that is actually quite unique and pretty interesting.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really cool. But now, will he have the second one? The air army just misses these mines going across. He's not pulling any of the workers. This is going to be devastating. Oh no. So many of those workers end up falling here. 16 in total. Oh, it was completely preventable too. Where did that air army go? It finally cycled back, but it's too little too late here at this point. Picking up the mines is only a small consolation prize as you're trying to rebuild your mineral line in your main.
Yeah, oh man, that was absolutely devastating. Now Hurricane's going to have to pull out the shovel, dig 16 graves for those 16 probes, or actually make it 17 probes. And no. That's not what you want to be in terms of the worker count and the worker loss if you're the Protoss. And Hurricane, he's going to be on the back foot for the entirety of this game. It's going to be up to him to kind of pull the magic out of the hat, as it is FORGG's game to lose.
I think so. He's definitely put himself in a really good spot here in game number 1. He just needs to keep that pedal to the metal if he doesn't want his opponent to get back in. But having that third Nexus does provide a scary position for FORGG to play from. The pro production can get replenished in, I mean, about 33% faster. So statistically, that is a sizable difference. What ends up happening, though, is Hurricane starts to find ways to get himself back in the game through the use of those disruptors or Colossus. And it looks like Colossus is going to be the first choice here. But Hurricane needs to find a better way to actually engage onto this. Because as it sits right now, using those Colossus defensively is not going to be as advantageous for him compared to moving out onto the map. So I'm a bit curious to see how he's going to try and grab hold of this map control once again so he can use those units to his benefit.
Oh, it looks like one way is these Phoenixes unfortunately was not paying attention, and he just missed the forward Widow Mine drop here. I mean, it would have been so helpful if he can, chase that down, but unfortunately was not paying attention even though he did scout it.
Okay, Hurricane's going to increase his gateway count here, get that production cycle going again. For the most part, it's a recovery of the probes up until about this moment where we get another drop into that natural expand. How many more workers ended up going down here? He's lost 27 total so far. He'll be able to clean those off, and now these mines will all end up falling, but FORGG continues to take shot after shot on his opponent.
Yeah, this is it's so unfortunate for Hurricane, but I mean, really he has his own self to blame because, he has all this scouting vision, but if you're not paying attention to it, you just lose track, and there goes your probes. They just disappear in thin air.
I was gonna say, you're talking about like building graves for him and everything. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure these probes just get vaporized when they get hit by those mines. So I'm not sure what we need. Maybe just like a strong breeze or something to spread them around a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe instead of a grave, maybe memorial site or something.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah.
I like to think that we could build a memorial pylon in the back here. But FORGG would probably just take that out too, as he's going to get on top of the shield battery. Shield battery overcharge does end up getting negated here. I think the bigger story is that it's not going to be available for a little bit of time. So if FORGG wanted to try and push in and attack with this force, he absolutely could. And Hurricane's not going to have that much to defend with. He will have 3 Colossus, which is good. That's going to end up working out to his benefit, especially since this Bioforce is going to attack from the bottom left side. That means that even if they do try to rotate up to the main, those Colossus will be able to help engage there and provide vision for some blinking forward. But he's got to be very, very careful. I think FORGG is winding up just to be relentless in his damage here, and that absolutely looks to be the case here. There's no charge yet on these Zealots, Snoopy. That's actually kind of an oversight.
Yeah, I think he was busy researching Blink. Yeah, Blink actually takes quite a time. And so, only now is charge going to be researched. But, oh, wow, Forge getting sniped down, so at +1 armor, I believe, will be delayed for quite some time, as that Forge needs to be started up again. Oh, actually, never mind. He has a secondary Forge. We'll go ahead and remake another Forge. But, yeah, that does get slowed down a bit, and a little bit unfortunate for Hurricane. But at the very least, he does hold, right? Really, he's still on the back foot. He needs to just make sure that he survives for the time being. Work up to that, huge Colossus ball, where it's a bunch of Colossus, a bunch of Phoenixes, and that's probably might be the one saving grace, because right now, only now is the Viking production out for FORGG, so he's going to be lacking in terms of the Viking count, and during that engagement, he's going to have to decide, do I focus those Vikings on the Colossus or on those Phoenixes?
I think he just needs to try and focus them on anything at this point, because both of these armies are insanely scary. And FORGG is continuing to try and put pressure on both sides, knowing that the bulky Colossus, while valuable to this army hold, along with the disruptors, are not very mobile, and they're not going to be able to move around very fast. So as a result of that, FORGG's got Hurricane pinned back on the map. He's going to pick up a 5th base location. He's going to pick up a couple extra command centers here for extra scans. He's in a position where he can basically just bully his opponent around, and as he continues to do that, he picks up extra Vikings. He's grabbing advanced ballistics for a potential Liberator shift. There was a Ghost Academy that was being built for just a brief moment. But yeah, all the tech's going to be coming out here, and I think FORGG is just waiting for the right opportunity to pull this army out of position and strike accordingly.
Yeah, right now just the plus 2 weapons attack just finished, but FORGG, he's still ahead, 2-2 upgrades versus only +2 of Hurricane. So even though, you know, I guess the Colossus is pretty decent against Bao in general, these Baos are a bit more beefed up in terms of the upgrades. So right now, Hurricane is struggling to even get that fourth and important Nexus. And, gets blocked by that Widow Mine, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's another unfortunate situation here for Hurricane. Every second that passes that he's not able to get that 4th base down, FORGG just continues to secure more of an advantage. Giant stim forward here by the bio is going to knock that base down once again. It's another cancel. That's another setback here for our red Protoss player. What is he going to do to be able to knock this Terran opponent down? 153 to 200. He's completely maxed out here. Good blink forward, gets on top of some of those medevacs. That's going to clean up a little bit of supply cap for FORGG, but again, Hurricane needs to find a way to deal extended damage here. 170 to 200. He's down a bit on army supply, but also economically as well to a Terran opponent who's going to get that much more economic advantage out of his units.
Yeah, and looks like we have a little bit of an awkward base trade as both players' army is on the other side of the map. We'll see if who gets the better end of this base trade. Now, there are some storms, and FORGG walks into a storm there. Nicely done. But those energy on those high Templars are diminishing. They will have to go ahead and morph into Archons. In the meantime, these Liberators here at FORGG's base will hold the fort. FORGG still fighting here at the third of Hurricane, but they will, Hurricane's army will give chase finally as these Marauders and Marines are very low in life. Those medevacs has been completely wiped out, and this could be a nice cleanup here for Hurricane to start coming back into this game.
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah, he's equalizing the worker count for sure. He is down a sizable amount in army, however, and it worries me that the Liberator switch is going to be very, very difficult for Hurricane to deal with. Now, there are plenty of Phoenix that are out on the map right now. I think he's got, what, 4 for sure? Yeah, he's got 4 for sure, which will deal a nice amount of damage. But there's just so many in production as well. Giant blink forward here to get underneath of those Liberators, but the Liberators are going to get in a few shots here before they do peace out. A few kills for each is still a good trade overall for FORGG as more bio is going to wrap around that top side. This 4th base is going to go down again, Snoopy. Hurricane's got to be screaming.
Oh man, that Nexus is cursed. I mean, is never going to come up in this game, as it seems like this might be... nice disruptor hits will get clean up the rest of the army. But again, that 4th base still delayed here, and once again, the economy of FORGG still growing exponentially.
Ugh, this poor Nexus. He's never going to get it up. He's never going to mine that gas. He's always going to run around and cancel you. It's just so sad.
Sad indeed.
You've got puns, I got song lyrics, my friend. Oh, this is actually a good engagement here for Hurricane. FORGG able though, once again, it's just gonna be it's just gonna be canceled. No big deal. That's fine. I didn't sing enough of it that it's gonna trigger anything, so it should be okay. Yeah, it feels like we're watching a game of direct strike right now, where both players are just kind of rallying their forces into the same location over and over again. Similar army composition, slight changes here and there, but I mean, this fourth base is just struggling to go down into place. Hasn't even been an attempt at the 6 o'clock position, mostly because he's going to find the same difficulty. What a great EMP on top of most of this army. That Archon is dangerously low, as well as most of the units there. And I think FORGG is slowly winning the battle here. These ghosts are starting to show up in larger supply. The EMPs are outstanding. They are going to get picked off to some degree, but they're trading themselves out for very, very expensive Protoss units. And FORGG, at the 17-minute mark, closes out game number 1 with a win. For this player spawning in the bottom left, our red Protoss player, playing with the Into the Clan tag. This is Hurricane. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. StarCraft. It's misspelled. What? Okay, I'm not gonna put him on blast, but that's hilarious.
All right, here in the top right, we have our blue Terran player rocking the muscle there. Look like a muscle icon with a thumbs up, with a really long thumbs up. That's a long nail. My God, my golly. All right, anyhow, this is FORGG.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Oh, I gotta go back and look at this. It says StarCraft. How? How has nobody seen that? Oh man, I feel like I need to message Inu now.
Yeah, we definitely should.
Inu. Oh no. Oh, that's fine, man. If I had $1 for every time I misspelled something, I'd be rich. I wouldn't have to spell. I'd just be too busy counting.
Yeah, even champions of spelling bees once in a while misspell their words. So we'll give Inu a pass here.
All right, Inu. This time you get away with it. But next time, you'll probably get away with it then too. But the time after that, well, okay, Inu will always get away with it because we like Inu a lot. But it's still fun. Okay. Hello, Mr. Probe. Now I want to believe this is a scouting probe, but
oh no.
We know better than that.
Yeah, I mean Hurricane right now is down 0-1. I mean he needs to upgrade to a category 5 Hurricane right now in order to push this to a third game, and he is going to do it with a lovely Stargate. Kinda prove me right. Oh no, never mind. He proves me wrong. It's going to be a gateway. So it's going to be a kind of a parting 3 gateway type of opening here.
Yeah, I actually don't mind this because this is going to have a lot of kick potential to it. And if FORGG's not looking for it, this could very easily catch him off guard. I'm trying to think what the important part of this is going to be to anchor this defense. I mean, bunker's probably going to need to be mandatory, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a build that hits hard early on, so you need a bunker or two, or at the very least, you'll need to have to retreat back at home into the main base and kind of hide behind the supply depot. But if he is not careful and he gets called out before he can even retreat back into the main base, then all his army is going to get chomped up.
He's got a mine coming out here. If that mine, So normally this mine's going to be moved out across the map, but what if, Snoopy? What if this mine got used defensively? Is that even illegal? Not even sure. I think that could end up being a positive thing here. Yeah, these Marines now are going to be able to engage on this army. Oh, he might not even need it. Look at that stutter step. I mean, it's going to cost most of those Marines, but he's got, yeah, there we go. We've got mines being dropped down defensively here. Oh, FORGG is going to be able to knock out one of those adepts off the top. And this is going to make things much, much better here. Second mine is going to be able to get in here. It's going to soak up a lot of damage there. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, the boys get pulled off of the line, but this is now a much better situation for FORGG.
And he still needs to wait for the reinforcement. And oh my God, he actually feels safe enough to just go ahead and move those Widowmine across the map instead of placing them defensively. So little bit of a risky decision there, but we'll see if that works out in the end. The supply depot is about to burn out. These adepts will be able to shade in, and this can actually snowball if FORGG isn't careful.
Yeah, it's all going to be about this mine hit. Is Hurricane paying attention? I don't think he is. He's stuck across the map, and that's going to be a lot of probe kills. Now suddenly all of the exchanges here are possible for FORGG. There's a tank. The tank should be able to shut a lot of this down, provided that there is protection against the adepts, but the adepts are going to be able to shade on forward. Will they be able to deal any major damage? They're not going after the tank right now. They're just trying to pick up the bio, I guess. So that means there's going to be more Marines that are allowed to fight as a part of this. FORGG is trying desperately to hang on. 18 workers to 33. Hurricane's throwing down a third base, though.
Ooh, a little bit of a mishap, I feel, from Hurricane. When he shaded his adepts on top of the tank, his stalkers were still at the naturals, attacking away instead of going into the main base and sniping off and targeting fire on that tank. So, I mean, imagine if he was able to snipe out the tank immediately, and the adepts can go ham on those SAVs. I mean, we might be talking about a different game, despite all the lost probes from of Hurricane. Let's see here. How many lost probes in total? 13.
Yeah, it's a fair amount. I mean, that was a great equalizer. Imagine if Hurricane was sitting at 54 workers right now.
Yeah.
Like, the game would just be over. Hurricane gets to a point where, okay, I don't even need to build probes anymore. I'm just going to crank out Stalkers and Zealots and just end this game entirely. But FORGG just got kind of a scary position here. Keep in mind, though, this is rather all in for FORGG. He's sitting on 22 workers. He is getting a little bit of SCV production, but Hurricane is always going to be able to outproduce him. 44 to 22. FORGG has a rare moment here where he can push across the map. DTs are going to come down as a result of this. Hurricane must not feel as confident as he otherwise could.
Yeah, it's again still missing a shield battery here at the third base. So this move out of a FORGG can actually might be able to get something done here. Banshee, I don't think he has cloak. Yeah, he doesn't have cloak, but the Banshee does add some firepower. And oh man, not a lot here on the ground for Hurricane.
Picking off the Immortals, huge though. It's going to allow this bio to try and stutter step forward. And now the tanks are very close. Are they in range of that Nexus? They absolutely are. So that third base is already very, very vulnerable. But I feel like Hurricane's just trying to buy time for that DT trying to get up. He can afford to lose the third base as long as he knows that the Terran opponent is on his natural only, but there is not enough there to deal with tanks.
I mean, it was a smart choice. I mean, Hurricane really couldn't, clean up the rest of the Terran army, so might as well stack your third base. I mean, he's still ahead, way ahead in the worker count. But the Dark Shrine has completed. Let's see if they can help out during this fight. There is no proxy pylon or war prism across the map, so he's not going to be able to send the DTs into the main base of the Terran. But at the very least, he can at least try to use the DTs to help defend against the attack.
Oh my gosh, what are we seeing here, Snoopy? We are seeing FORGG, who is on the verge of losing this game number 2, completely push across the map. He's equalized the worker count, 36 army to 9, units streaming across. This is an all-in situation for FORGG, and he is going to advance to Code A. 2-0 over Hurricane. Well played.